Hi, I am Liji and today will be covering operators in Python. Operators are used to perform various operations on variables and values. Some of the few basic Python operators are arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, and logical operators. At Python, I say arithmetic operators. What are arithmetic operators? Arithmetic operators are those operators which perform some numerical calculations, so which perform some mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, etc. So let's see them one by one. So here we are using the usual arithmetic operators only, plus, minus, and this is a multiplication symbol. We'll see them one by one. So 3 plus 4 get us as 7, minus 3 plus 100. Here this subtraction operator, when it is added as an unary operator, that is, it is acting upon one operand, then it is considered as negating its value. Okay, so that's why it becomes minus 3 plus 100, it becomes 97, minus 3 minus here it performs a subtraction between two operands where one is a negative integer and another is positive. But anyway, since it is a subtraction, we'll be getting it as minus 103. And here what we have done is we have assigned some values to variables and we are using these operators in between these variables. This is a multiplication operator. It performs multiplication between two numbers. And so here we are doing a multiplication between 3 and 4 and we get the answer as 12. Here if we are doing the operation between a constant and a variable, and since it's equal to 3, here we get the answer as 300. Now consider these three operations. 12 by 4. Here 12 by 4 division, two division operators are there, and here we have a modulus operator over there. So 12 modulus operator 4. Now what's the difference between these three operators? Here when we are using only single division operator, it is performing a decimal division. This is known as a floor division or integer division operator where we are having two division symbols. So it performs a division and it returns you only the quotient part or the integer part. Here it performs a division and integer division again and it returns you the remainder. Okay, so here it does the single division operator performs the decimal division. Two division operator, that is a floor division operator or the integer division operator, does the division, integer division, and returns you the quotient, and here it returns you the remainder, performs the division and it returns you the remainder. It will be more clear with this example. Here we are doing 3 by 4, 13 by 4, 13 by 4. So 13 is not completely divisible by 4, so the quotient will be 3 and the remainder will be 1, right? So here when we are doing integer division, yes, of course we get the quotient as 3. Here since this is decimal division, you get the answer as 3.25. That is, it performs a proper decimal division over here. There. Here we are doing a modulus operation, that is, it performs a decimal integer division and it returns you the remainder, that is 1. Now, this operator, that is asterisk asterisk, this is an exponential operator in Python. So here we are doing 3 raised to 2 and you get the value 9. Now, we have seen what these operators are doing earlier, right? This is a multiplication operator and this is a addition operator. So, when these operators were used between two integers, it performed multiplication and addition. Now, here I am using this multiplication operator with a string and a number. So when I use this multiplication operator with a string, it becomes a repetition operator. So what it does is it repeats the string 10 times. So since I have given here 10, it is repeating 10 times. But if I give here 100, it repeats the string 100 times. So it is acting as a repetition operator when I am using it with a string. Now here, this is the addition operator. In case of integers, when we are using it with integers, it is an addition operator. Now I have used it with between two strings. So what it does is it it becomes an append operator. It appends those two strings. Okay, so it becomes an append operator over there when it is used between two strings, appends two strings. That's it. Now coming to assignment operator, we have seen assignment operator earlier. So it is used to assign value to variables. So here we are assigning num as 1, and num is now having the value of 1. Now, here what is happening? Num plus equal to 1. So this plus equal to is a shorthand representation for num equal to num plus 1. So what happens is num will be incremented by 1 and then it will be assigned to num only. So that is why it is written in a shorthand manner over here. And the value of num, once we perform this, is num equal to num plus 1. So num is already 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And now num becomes 2. So that is what is done over here. So it is a shorthand representation of this thing, this operation. This is how it is mentioned in a shorthand manner. Similarly, this can be done for subtraction also, and also for multiplication, division, and for everything we can do it. And finally, the value of num is minus 1176. It is some negative value. Num is having some negative value. Okay. Now let us comparison operator. So in comparison operators compares two values. So here if you see num double equal to 100, it is checking if the value of num equal to 100 or not. If we are using single equal to over there, then it becomes an assignment operator. But since here we are using two equal to symbols over there, it is a comparison, or it is acting as a comparison operator. Two equal to symbol means a comparison operators. So num, earlier we saw that it is having some negative value. So it is negative 1176, right? So num equal to 100. It is checking whether num equal to 100. So what it should return? It is not right. True. It is not correct, right? So it will return you false. Here it is checking whether num not equal to 100. This is not equal to. So it is, we are checking whether num not equal to 100 or not. So that is, it is not equal to 100. So it will return you true. So these comparison operators always returns you some Boolean value, either true or false. It compares two values and it returns you either true or false. So that is what this comparison operators does. So num less than 100, yes, it is true because it is a negative number. Num greater than 100, yes, it is true because it is a positive. It is false because it is again a negative number. Then we are having, I am introducing another variable over here, num2. Okay, so let me make num2 as say 0. So num less than or equal to num2. Here we are comparing two variables. Num is having some negative value and num2 is having 0. So the answer is true over there. Num greater than or equal to num2. Num is a negative value, num2 is 0. So this is false. Suppose, let me make num as num equal to 0. Okay, so num is 0 now, num2 is also 0. So what will be the value of output for this? Num less than or equal to num2? Num is not less than num2, but num is equal to num2, right? So less than or equal to means it is checking whether it is less than or equal to. Okay, so the answer will be true. And num greater than or equal to num2, it is not greater than, but both are equal to. So the answer will be true again. So that is all about comparison operators. Now let's move on to logical operators. So logical operators are mainly used to compare two conditional statements. Okay, when we want to compare two conditional statements, we use logical operators. So here we already have the value of num2 and num as 0. Okay, so num2 equal to 200. What will be the output? The output will be false. Num less than 100, yes, since num is 0, it is less than 100, it is true. Okay, now we are comparing these two. See that these two expressions that we have over here, then we are comparing it over here. Okay, we are checking num2 equal to 200 and num less than 100. So we are checking if comparing both, and we are expecting a result out of it. Here again the logical operators will return you true or false only. So num2 equal to 200, it returns as false, and num less than 100 returns as true. That we have already seen. And when we are using And as a logical operator, it returns as true only if both of them are true. Otherwise, it always returns as false. And since here one of the expression is false, it will return as false only. Okay, now here logical operator or returns as true if either of the expressions on it either of its side returns as true, it will return as true. So here since num less than 100 is true, even though this is false, it's returning as true. So and returns false or returns true only if both the operands are true. Otherwise it returns false always. Or logical operator returns as true if either of the operand is true, it returns as true. It returns as false if both of them are true. That's it. Now the next operator is not. Not, it just negates the value of the expression. So num equal to 200, we know it is false, but since there is not, it is going to negate it and it is going to return as true. So false becomes true and true becomes false in case of not operator. So that's all for today. So we have covered arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, and logical operators. Stay tuned for next video where I'll be covering if structures in Python. Thank you all.